Esther's the queen, and then she's Jewish, and then there's Haman, who's like the bad guy, and there's Mordecai, who's like an influential leader of the Jews, and Haman hates the Jews, hates Mordecai, and wants to kill Mordecai, builds this huge gallows, and essentially, like, the story ends up flipping on itself, and Haman gets hung on his own gallows. And I thought that was just reuse that as saying, what the enemy has meant for harm in our lives, that God's going to use for good. And so they heard that song, and it kind of fit exactly with kind of where they were going with this film. And this is a ministry called Frontier Alliance International, that they do like tons of mission work, training, language training, and how to work in the Middle East. Obviously not very easy. They have some cool schools to train people to do that. But the leaders are also incredible filmmakers, so they put out films about what's going on there. So I got to be a part of Sheep Among Wolves 2. It's on YouTube, the whole thing for free. And what it is following the story that's going on in Iran. So there's this, obviously, the story that we all see on the news of great conflict with them and other nations. But God is writing this crazy other story that's happening that no one's seeing. That is massive amounts of people coming to know Jesus in Iran. And like thousands. And like I saw a photo recently of a pool with like hundreds of people dressed in white, all trying to get baptized, lining up for hours and hours to get baptized. Okay? It's crazy. So they got the privilege of flying like a bunch of Iranian believers out to a safe place and interviewing them. In this film, their like faces are blurry, their voices are pitched down, so you can't identify them, but they're telling their story, their testimonies of how they met Jesus. So absolutely astounding stories. Oh, another thing is that like the church is like predominantly led by women, and like God has absolutely like got this great purpose on women leaders who are like ex-prostitutes, ex-drug dealers, like coming to know Jesus through dreams and visions and giving their lives to follow him. It's absolutely astounding. So if that interests you at all, I dare you to watch it. But yeah, we got the joy, the privilege of going to Israel and recording this song in the oldest Protestant church or cathedral in the Middle East. It's in the middle of downtown Jerusalem. And so yeah, it was just a privilege. And one last thing. Sorry I'm talking so long. I have no idea how long I've been playing also, so. Okay, cool. This is my second to last song, so. Now I want to speak about this too. I wrote this song after one of our close family friends attempted to take his life. And he was found out by a lake just in time, had massively overdosed, taken poison, and was found unconscious. Like, nobody was supposed to be around. Happened to be somebody walking by, caught him just in time, and he was resuscitated. And we've seen an absolute miracle take place in his life. He's, in the past few years, been just getting help. It was like it was the absolute bottom, and so finally we were able to see like the real big roots uprooted out of his life, of facing the things that had gone on in his life as a kid, and getting real healing in his heart, his mind, turning his life over to Jesus, getting healthy in his body, in his work situation, his finances, like just watching this man like come back to life. And we have so many negative stories of that. And finally I got to see one where I could go, no, God's power is greater than suicide, than depression, than darkness. Like, I really am seeing it happen in somebody's life. And so, yeah, I was just sick of the devil picking on my friends. And so, if you resonate with that at all, just like this song is for you. And, yeah, just hang on. Keep reaching out. Yeah, this is called Gallows. Someone's on the prowl, trying to take us down, but we ain't giving up now. A liar and a thief coming after you and me. ain't giving up now. Even though we tread through the valley of death, oh, we ain't giving up now. The harder the wind blows, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hate. Oh, the devil is gonna hate. Oh, the devil is gonna hate from his own So if you're stumbling in the dark, then run your hands against the walls. Find every window, every door, and throw them open, throw them open. It will flood a blinding light, and it will chase away the night. Even if you shield your eyes, let it pour in, let it pour in. If you're stumbling in the dark, then run your hands against the walls. Find every window and every door, and throw them open, and it will flood a blinding light, and it will chase away the night. Even if you shield your eyes, let it pour in, let it pour in, let it pour deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hate. Oh, the devil is gonna hate. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own gallows. Oh, the devil is gonna hate. Oh, the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own gallows. Amen. Thank you guys. Yeah, I love you so much, and I appreciate a chance to get to do this morning. I don't ever get to play for Sunday mornings. I lead worship. I love leading worship, and that's what we're kind of going to do to close out. But yeah, just to get to share my heart music,